think we're live. Hey everyone.
Hi everybody.
Welcome to this week's virtual write-in.
Yeah.
Wow.
What do we have? This is the 5-day countdown of camp.
Great. Oh man, yeah, that's true. How did this month go by so quickly? I don't know.
Again, I feel like we said that last month.
I know. I feel like I've been saying this all month, but it's true. It's true though.
Have some writers already won camp?
Oh,
right?
yeah.
That's possible.
Yeah. Let us know if you've already run one. We'll shake some invisible pom-poms for you. I don't know. What do you use to celebrate with? Something.
What are those? The
jazz hands?
Pop.
Oh yeah. The like confetti cannons.
Yeah, those things.
All right, confetti cannons.
I think even last week there were some people that had said, they won, they just couldn't technically log it in.
Yeah. So. Awesome.
Sorry.
Yay. Oh, Bets Rules won. Awesome. Congrats.
Oh, yeah.
Woo. Luna Phoenix won already.
Wow. Oh, I like that. Harper Nicole said April speed walks. Yeah. That is how it felt.
I like that. That's great. Oh, man. Yeah. How are you guys doing? I don't know what I'm trying to ask here.
You're still here.
Yeah.
So something must be going right.
Yeah. How close are you to completing your projects or to meeting your goal? Also, how is your mental space right now? Like, are you psyched because you're almost done, or are you feeling very frazzled? Like, what's that like?
Are you drinking even more coffee? Is chocolate saving your life? What's happening?
Oh man, Tim made some homemade marshmallows yesterday and brought them in. And so we had toaster oven s'mores this morning in the office with homemade marshmallows. It was really, really good.
It was a great
Recommend.
Success. Yes. His homemade marshmallows are square. So I may never eat another round marshmallow again because the square ones were awesome.
They were very good.
I think the special ingredient might be love.
The special ingredient is definitely love. Yeah. It was love the whole time.
Oh, interesting. Glax has an interesting question. It says, what are some alternatives to going to college for writing? I don't want to deal with the debt. I think that's a good question.
Reasonable.
I'm not sure. Yeah. Not sure.
There are lots of options, I think, available now. I know there are some writing workshops that you can do either in person or online. I think Mariah, our Young Writers Program Director, has done some of those before, and she really loved them and found them super helpful. Just to do a workshop with a bunch of other writers. So it's not a long-term thing like it would be to get a degree from college, but it's a sort of very concentrated way to get some feedback. There are also a lot of really, really awesome online communities that have a lot of resources. I know we partnered with Masterclass a while in the past, so it's depending on what kind of information and like structure you want. Usually if there's a structure, you have to pay some kind of money. But there are a lot of great, I know, oh man, I'm just trying. I think Scribophile has also been one of our sponsors, and they have a really, really robust writing community. So it can be one of those things too, where if you have questions or a manuscript, to bring it to other people and just say, hey, would you mind looking at this? And you can, even on the NaNoWriMo forums, you can do editing trades and stuff like that. You can learn a lot that way. There
are all sorts of classes available too without registering, for college. College can be wonderful, but I don't think it's really a prerequisite to being a writer. It's not necessary, not 100% necessary.
You do not have to have any kind of degree to be a writer at all.
Isn't that fabulous?
In fact, I was talking to somebody who said they specifically have not wanted to get a creative writing degree because they don't want their own style to be influenced. So yeah, it's up to you, I think. But.
Well, thanks for it. That was a great question.
Elena Kifnarina said libraries. Libraries are an awesome, excellent resource. A lot of times too, like for things that need paid subscriptions, sometimes your library will have a paid subscription that you can use for free if you have a library card. So check out your library.
Yeah, absolutely. Library is amazing.
Yeah. Sweet.
Thanks, everybody.
Oh man, now other people are writing just questions about being a writer, like how much income does one earn as an author? that is anything from nothing to like $1 million. Yeah, that really depends. That's the thing about being a writer too. It's like there's no set way to do it.
No.
There's no like, oh, you need to go down this path, and once you hit these marks, you're gonna be a published author.
Just doesn't work that way.
Yeah, it really doesn't. So, wish I had a more straightforward answer for you.
Yeah,
but I
don't. So that's rule. Put it this way: you don't get J.K. Rowling money overnight.
Very true.
Thanks for summing that one up.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it. Nature Artist 8012 says, "What's the last day to write in camp? How many are left?" I think was it 5?
Yeah, I think
so. Yeah. So the last day to write in camp is April 30th
at midnight, right?
At midnight, wherever that is in your time zone. So make sure that your time zone is set correctly. You can do that by going to the I think user settings in your Camp NaNoWriMo profile. But yeah, so you have till midnight on April 30th.
I've been doing it all by hand, and I haven't put it into the computer yet. So same. So I really want to get that word count on there, which means I have a lot of typing to do this weekend.
Good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Speaking of getting some words in, should we jump into the first prompt?
All right. So today for the first writing sprint, about 5 minutes. Again, this is completely optional. If it works for you, great. If it doesn't, great. So we're thinking something along the lines of someone, it could be anyone, a stranger, someone close to your character, but someone gives your character some kind of advice or information. So just thinking about a scene where someone passes on some information or advice to your character, and just about 5 minutes to see what we come up with on that one.
All right. I'm going to set my timer here.
Okay.
Okay, 5 minutes. Let's go. Let's start now. About a minute and a half. All right, time is up. Go ahead and finish up your sentences, your thoughts, whatever you've been writing, and let us know what you wrote about. If you use the prompts, maybe share a sentence, share your word count. Yeah. How'd that go for you?
All right. I just had like a father character kind of giving his daughter some advice that she may or may not reject. We'll see how it goes. Yeah.
Nice.
And how about on your end?
I've been working on something a little bit different this week. I was working on my project that I started last November, and it's been going really well, but I kind of got to a point where I was like, I don't know. I might need to take a little break from this. So I have a friend who is writing a graphic novel and asked me to edit it. So I'm taking a little break to do some editing, which is fun.
Well, that's super informative. I think that's always really helpful. You can learn so much about your own project through examining someone else's.
And I feel like it's good too, because for me, I can go through somebody else's writing and be like, oh yeah, clearly this needs to go, and like this is great, but like it could be rephrased this way, and I don't have the same attachment to it that I do to my own writing. So it kind of gives me this perspective, like, oh right, I have a thing that was kind of like that. I should probably just cut that out too, you know? So,
yeah. It's amazing how much it all intersects.
Yeah, totally. Let's see. Jillian Holderfield got 154 words.
Awesome. Kari Kitari said, first part of this was a jumping off point. That's cool.
Nice. Glax shared this sentence. The way the shadows gather tells one where they must hide, puffs from the lips of a lurking cloak in darkness.
Ooh.
Its words slither their ways into the boy's ears, are cells for which tumors may grow.
Oh boy.
That's great. I love that imagery. Ooh.
That's fully loaded.
Like creepy. That's
yeah.
Great. Well, I think this Heather Hunter said, gosh, I don't know what I wrote. Just letting my mind unload for now. That's great.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to start off a first try.
Pamela Pritchett, 182 words.
Nice. Alex Sweetman wrote 256 words, and the prince gave Cassandra some advice.
Cool. Oh, Angel Deb, one character trying to convince her friend to go visit his family for the first time after being away for 2 decades.
Whoa, that's a long time.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh, how cool. Course for you. I've been helping my friend through camp. She usually doesn't write, but she had a story idea, so I persuaded her to join. Awesome. That's exciting.
Nice. Also, Athen239 said that their character ignores the advice that they got as well.
Awesome. Yeah, I don't know. I've definitely gotten advice from people where at the time I couldn't see how it could work. And then later on in life, like years later, all of a sudden it hits me like, oh, that's what they meant by that.
Yeah.
Like, they were totally right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, Kezo T is also editing, I think, and moved a scene from the beginning of my book to after the midpoint, so reworked the transition. That's great.
Yes, it's fascinating. Sometimes it's all it takes is literally like moving one paragraph to a different part of what you're working on, and it changes so much.
All of a sudden, it just clicks.
Yep.
Also, I like this. Hayden Keeler, when they came on, said, "It's so awkward when you're late and you're greeted by silence and people looking like they don't know there's a live stream." I love that. I especially love sometimes when we get people who don't know what it is, and they'll come on and be like, "Is this just a video of people writing?" That's great. I love it. Also, I don't remember who, but somebody said that Blobby was looking very chipper today.
Oh yeah,
which, yeah. I fluffed him up a little bit before we got here. Oh, I like what Zarite says is my story is gaining a spine, which is great.
Ooh. Jillian Holderfield. I am a bit rude to my characters. Like that.
You're a bit rude to me sometimes.
You got sassy characters?
Oh yeah, all the time. Oh man. So speaking of, go ahead. Were you gonna say something?
Oh no, go ahead.
Okay. I was just gonna say, speaking of advice, what is the best and or the worst writing advice that you've ever gotten?
Oh, ooh,
I'm curious. I want to hear from you guys too.
Yeah, I'll have to ruminate on that one.
Best or worst?
Do you have an example?
Oh man. You know, I asked that question and I didn't have a response in mind. I think, honestly, it's funny. I think some of so this isn't necessarily writing advice, but I draw sometimes too. And one of the advice, a piece of advice that I got for that was like, you have to know the structure of things before you can undo the structure of things. So it's like, you know, Salvador Dali has all these paintings of like just weird, totally impossible, surreal things, but he was also able to paint like a loaf of bread that looks like you could pick it up off the canvas and eat it. And that just kind of stuck with me. Just like, and that's what kind of how I feel about rough drafts. It's like rough drafts is learning the workings of your world and how everything gets put together, so that when you go back and edit it, you can take it all apart and put it back together in new and really cool ways. Yeah,
that's like an old saying. What is it? Just something about you have to know the rules before you can break them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
God, I have to think about that. I know there are so many things that
I know it's hard. It's hard to get.
It's like when someone asks, "Oh, what's your favorite song?" and you're like, I know a million songs I like, but I can't pick one to save my life right now. Yeah,
that always happens to me at karaoke. Let's see. Lisabella May said the best advice was write what you know.
Yeah. Oh, Kian said the best advice I've gotten was to let my characters run the story instead of over planning. Yeah, I can definitely relate to that.
Yeah. Oh, I like Sarfax321 said the worst advice was to write realistically. Interesting.
Oh, Pamela Pritchett said her worst advice was writing is a waste of time if you don't plan on publishing. I completely agree.
Yeah, and I like this one from Abigail said the best advice I've gotten is that everyone writes a different way. There is no correct way to write a novel.
Yeah.
Yes. Also, Penumbra Mine Forrester said worst advice was just delete everything.
Oh my goodness.
Who told you that?
Oh my goodness.
Never delete anything.
Yeah.
Like always keep it on some folder that's like past writings.
That was actually the first thing that came up to me. I know some people that have like in a fit of rage or whatever, they've destroyed all of their notebooks or something like that. And later on, just wish that they hadn't. I don't think I'm a super sentimental person, but I do try to hang on to all of my notebooks and even like napkins and scraps. You never know like when it's going to come in perfectly handy. You just never know.
Yeah. I still have all of my like journals and diaries and stuff from when I was in like 3rd grade.
Yeah. And then when you do make that J.K. Rowling money, you can sell all of your archive.
Totally. Oh man. So much good and bad advice. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, I like this one by Luna Phoenix. The best advice, it's okay to write all over the place. You can start in the beginning and barely make it through, and then write somewhere in the middle.
I love that, yeah. Even my notebooks are like that. I write all over the page. I don't usually use lined paper, and I don't think it would make sense to anyone except for myself. But yeah, write all over the place, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love this. By Brilliant Wonderful. So that's the problem with some writing groups. They look at a person's writing through their own writing goals. I got a comment, why does your story have a dog in it? That's great. You should like frame that.
Yeah.
Rue says, the worst advice I got was to only write about mundane things because you'd be able to write them well. It made me bored, fed up, and smothered my ideas. Ooh, that's great. I also, I honestly, speaking like our whole education conversation, I felt that way a little bit when I was in college because I took some creative writing classes, and there, especially in academia, there's kind of this. I think it's changing now, but there's kind of this, thing that if you're not writing like the great American novel or whatever, like if you're not, having broody characters or like writing realistically, then it's not real literature. And all I wanted to do was write young adult fantasy. And, the professors and the other people in the class would be like, I don't get it. So I mean, I think that trend is definitely changing.
Oh, now. Absolutely.
But that is one of those things too, where it's like don't let other people tell you what you should write.
Yep.
Like write what you want to write, I think is an important one.
And a lot of these books that we call, classics now, at that time, the authors were treated the same way that you just discussed. People didn't understand what they were doing at the time or whatever. So that's not always a negative thing.
Yeah.
You might be kind of ahead of the curve.
I know. I think, it wasn't like Charles Dickens, like pop literature sort of thing, sort of stuff, So. I love this one by Doral Elahan. It says, my best advice is from my grandfather. It's what you do after you feel like giving up that really counts.
Oh, that's great.
Your grandfather's a wise man.
I'm going to take that with me today. That's a great one.
Yeah. Ooh, I like this one by Ivy. My fave creative writing exercise is writing in the dark. I get a notebook and pen, lay in bed with the nightlight on the other side of the room, enough to distinguish shapes, and write. Can't explain, just freedom.
Oh, that's great.
That's great. Yeah.
I'm
gonna try that.
Yeah. In a few blogs, I think people discussed, the inner editor and kind of in the beginning of a project, you really need to silence your inner editor, and that seems like a great way to do that. You can't go back, you can't erase, you just have to keep pressing forward.
Yeah.
That's great. Thanks for that.
Answer right says, if we don't become the next J.K. Rowling, so what? You've created something unique and new. Love that. AV says, I've written in the dark, couldn't read what I wrote. I wrote over the words. That happens sometimes. You know, that's what experimenting is all
Yep.
about. Yeah. Should we move on to the next prompt?
All right, so we have our next sprint for 10 minutes. Again, you know, if this doesn't apply to what you're working on, no problema. So we were thinking to imagine a scene where your character takes this advice or information that they were given, and how now they're trying to implement this advice. You know, there's some kind of situation where they've received this advice and now they're trying to put this advice to use somehow. So yeah, just taking the advice they received and putting it to use. That's the scene we're trying to create for this prompt. If it doesn't work for you, feel free to write whatever comes to mind.
Great. All right, so starting a 10-minute timer now. About a minute and a half left. Right. Time's up. Go ahead and finish up your thoughts. Again, if you want to share a sentence or share your word count, drop them in the chat. All right. So did your character end up using the advice that they got?
The advice kind of made my character a little paranoid.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I was just playing with that a little bit.
I like that.
And yours?
Kind of like using it in a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, going through and looking at the kind of the relationships between some of the characters and kind of trying to figure out like why are they giving this advice? Like what is their motive? What do they think about the person they're giving the advice to? So
it could be a trick of some sort.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun when you're like looking at characters that you didn't create because you don't know exactly what it's supposed to be. So it's fun to try and figure it out.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Amanda Weaver, 174 words.
Nice.
Nature Artist, 256. That's
nice.
Great.
Angel Dev got 392. Wow.
Awesome.
Kristen Johnson got 531.
Wow, Bats Rules had 17 chapters planned.
Wow, that's awesome.
I don't think I've ever planned 17 chapters in my whole life. Wow.
Yeah, actually, I think I also goes for me.
Amazing.
Hear a song, didn't write anything this time, but was figuring out their timeline.
Oh, cool. G.R. Rhodes said, rather than advice, I had them give a shocking piece of news. Very cool.
That's good. That's a good way to go.
275 words. Bethany Louise, my main character, rejected the advice and is now being called out on it.
Harper and Nicole. Nicole got 253 words and just got past her writer's block. Yay!
Oh, yay. Awesome.
Oh. This sentence from Bethany Louise says, really? Helga asked disbelievingly. I bring up something that could jeopardize not just our fates, but our entire planet, and all you do is tell me to shut up?
Ooh.
So that's some conflict there.
Yep.
Zarfax 321 says, followed my thoughts, didn't think, threw myself off a cliff, and built my wings on the way down. Ooh. It's like, I feel like that could be a haiku almost. Oh, Megan Whitsett, the sentence they shared is, he shifts awkwardly in the seat, not wanting to lean back and appear too casual. But the result is a lot of shuffling fabric noise and him almost falling off the couch.
Oh, Ivy says, what languages is everyone writing in? I'm writing in Bulgarian.
Ooh, that's a good question. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Awesome. I'm just writing in English. Nothing special.
Plain old English, or my version of it, at least.
Yeah, right. I do a piece that I was working on a couple of years ago. There was like a language in there that was at one point when I was writing it, I was taking a Gaelic class.
Oh.
So there was like another language in there that was roughly based off of Irish Gaelic.
Oh, how cool.
Which was fun, which was a lot of fun to do.
So you created kind of a little bit of your own language.
A little bit, yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I was very, very heavily influenced by Irish Gaelic. But
awesome.
But it was fun too, because if I ever needed, I was like, oh, I need a name, or I need a swear word, or like something. I would look up what it actually was in Gaelic, and then I would like shift it around a little bit. I don't know, maybe keep some of the. It was a good jumping off point for me.
Yeah,
that was fun. But David Thomason is writing in French because they're French. Ooh. Follows testing is writing in Hebrew.
Nature artist, I'm writing in English, but there's an ancient magical language.
Nice.
That's based on Latin that I'm making phrases from. Wow.
Cool. We got someone writing in Swedish.
I'll write mine in Klingon, said Hannah Crenshaw.
I would be very, very impressed if you did that. When I was in like middle school, I really, really wanted to learn Elvish because I was obsessed with Lord of the Rings, and I had like this whole binder on like how to speak Elvish. I never actually did it because I'm really not that good at picking up languages, but the intention was there.
Maybe you're not good at putting made up languages. Maybe.
I'm not good at real languages either. I can't. I don't know. My partner went to a French immersion school and like speaks really good French. Oh, and like even if it's not, I took 2 semesters of French in high school. Even if he's not speaking good French, it sounds like it. Like I can't get the accent. It's bad.
Which is interesting because you have the ear for musical language, which I feel like often translates.
Yeah. Allison Dobson Clement did learn Elvish in middle school. High five. We would have been nerdy middle school Elvish buddies together.
I think I'm psychic because I knew there was going to be a virtual high five, and somehow I knew it was going to happen.
I thought you were going to say that you knew there was going to be somebody who learned Elvish. Yes. There's a couple of people who said they want to write in Spanish once they get more fluent. That's cool. Melanie Scott asked, does it count if I'm writing a D&D campaign? Totally counts. Definitely. We got some German speakers, it looks like. That's cool. Man, so many awesome things. Awesome. All right. Well, it's...
Do we have time for one more sprint?
Yeah, we totally have time for one more sprint. All Let's do it.
So the third sprint today, we have 10 minutes. Again, if it doesn't work for you, feel free to write whatever you'd like. So we're thinking something along the lines of, imagine that this advice that your character has received, or this information or news, has somehow backfired on your character, or maybe it turned out to be false. So how do they find that out, or what do they do from there? or kind of as Catherine was suggesting, maybe they were purposefully tricked with this information or something. So what does your character do? How do they react to the fact that the information or advice they were given has now backfired on them? So what happens next? All right, 10 minutes.
Okay, 10 minutes starts now. 2 minutes left. All right, time's up. Go ahead and wrap things up. Finish up your thoughts. Drop in the chat, whatever you want to share with us. Yeah, how's it going for you?
I ended up in a completely different character's head. So
Nice.
Yeah.
That's great.
Not sure what's going to happen with that, but
That was actually one of our camp counselor pieces of advice this week was to get into another character's head. So you're already doing it.
Yeah, that's me following the rules.
Yeah, I got a little distracted. I was like, oh, let me take a look at some of the big picture stuff. And I was like, oh, wait, this should go here and this should go. But it was good.
Cool.
Let's see.
Raven Nivar, 365 words. That's great.
Hero Song says 0 words, 0 excuses. At least, yeah, own it. Oh, cool. Spirit Voices this isn't really about writing their project, but so just remembered I wanted to mention something. I've started listening to a writing podcast called Start With This and really like it. That's cool. Thanks for sharing.
Binary asked, by the way, is this the last write-in this camp? I believe it is for camp, right?
Yeah, I think we're going to do one more next week because camp ends on Tuesday next week. I think we're going to do one more next Thursday, just, you know. Because even though camp is over, you don't necessarily stop writing.
Yeah, and, hopefully not.
Yeah, and you know, you might have questions or want to get some advice on like, what next? What do I do now? Yeah, so we're going to have kind of an informal virtual write-in next Thursday as well. And then that'll probably be the last one for a little bit. But we'll be making other videos to put up on YouTube that you can check out. We had some fun ideas today, so hopefully those come to fruition.
Try them out on people.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Megan Whitsett says, "Does anyone else dread editing after camp?"
Yeah. Yep, always. I haven't edited any of my own stuff that I've written during NaNoWriMo yet. I'm scared. I'm scared to try.
I find editing fascinating. I mean, it's like, it feels like surgery, you know, you're like dissecting it again. It's almost like being reborn again into Frankenstein.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
But
yes.
Yeah, I can get really wrapped up in it. I have to be careful, but I get some kind of sick pleasure out of it. Yeah.
That's great. I love that. Let's see. Oh, and also speaking of writing resources, I remembered when we were talking about education stuff, one of the things, somebody mentioned DIY MFA. And we're partnering with them. It's like a do-it-yourself MFA. This woman named Gabriella started it, but she's hosting a free webcast next week. If you want to check that out. So yeah, if you're looking for like writing class type things that are free, definitely check that out.
Oh, that sounds really cool. Okay.
Let's see here. I can try to find that link too to drop it in. Yeah. I'll drop it in the comments later when I find it. But yeah, that should be fun. I love this quote by nature artist 8012 that says, "The weirdest thing about editing is the juxtaposition of it. It's so terrible to do, but the result never fails to be better than the original. I also just love how different the second draft can be." That's great. I also love Zara Wright says, "I use my friend to get my American knowledge better." I'm so interested. Like, what do you need to know about America? Hannah Crenshaw says, "I like having had edited in the past." It reminds me of that quote. I think it might have been Dorothy Parker. And it's like, "I hate writing. I love having written." Yeah. Cool. Oh, it's after 2 already. Sorry, we got a little carried away there. Yeah, I know. I love chatting with you guys. I love hearing about all of your writing projects that are so cool.
Yeah, I have so many aha moments during these. So thank you. Yeah,
I do too. This is super helpful for me. I hope it's helpful for you as well. 5 days of camp left.
Yeah,
you can do it.
Yeah, do it.
Confetti.
Yeah. Thanks everybody.
Thanks everyone. We'll see you next week. If you want to subscribe, go ahead and click that subscribe button so you know when we have some new videos coming up. And otherwise, good luck.
Thanks.
Happy writing.
Bye. Bye.